Welcome back, everyone. Today we settle one of basketball's greatest arguments. Who is the GOAT, Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant? Today we let the legends who played with them and against them speak for themselves. Shaquille O'Neal was teammates with Kobe and opponent to Michael. He says Kobe stayed after practice, making himself perfect. That drive, that work ethic, came right from what he learned studying Michael Jordan. Shaq saw both men up close. He tells us Michael Jordan walked into a gym and everyone froze. Kobe Bryant walked in and everyone had to work harder. That difference is clear. Phil Jackson coached both of them. He reminds us Jordan invented the triangle offense on the greatest stages. Kobe perfected those same plays under pressure. Sometimes Phil paused and said, "Kobe, you remind me of Mike so much." Even their coach needed to adjust. Magic Johnson faced them both. The career points, the rings, the killer moves. He says Jordan changed basketball off the court too. He built global power. Kobe watched that process and then built his own brand. Kobe became the first to train for years and master every endorsement opportunity, just like Mike. Isaiah Thomas went head-to-head with Jordan. He admired Kobe too. He says Jordan defined greatness. Isaiah saw Kobe chase that same dream. He called Kobe an architect, adding new wings to the house Jordan built. Tracy McGrady dreams shakes his head about Kobe's insane footwork. He says Michael was pure power. Tracy tells us Kobe took skill to another level: drills, moves, fadeaways. The whole package comes from studying Jordan, then adding more handles. Allen Iverson grew up idolizing both. He says Jordan made him love basketball and Kobe made him love the grind. Kobe's famous nighttime workouts came straight from watching Jordan's Madison Square Garden practice tapes. Kobe just turned it up a notch. Kevin Garnett faced Kobe head-to-head and watched Jordan dominate. He says Jordan's stare could freeze you. KG learned that early. Kobe had that same look, always calculating inside his eyes. Reggie Miller shot around Kobe and fought MJ in tough playoff duels. He calls Kobe the bravest shooter ever, but he also calls Jordan the ultimate closer. Reggie reminds us Jordan hit 6 game winners in the finals. Kobe hit 5, but they both made every big shot. Ray Allen, the pure shooter, says Jordan had the purest mid-range bank shot, the cleanest form. Kobe learned that and added the 3-ball from deep. He says Kobe's shooting extended the game into new eras. Steph Curry revolutionized the three-pointer, but he won't forget Jordan posting up and Bryant dreaming of corner threes. LeBron James wore number 23 to honor both men, and Steph says he still studies their moves on tape. Tim Duncan, the big fundamental, said Jordan was ballet graceful, unstoppable. Kobe was gymnastics explosive, unpredictable. Both greats brought beauty to basketball. Tim says he learned patience from Jordan and hunger from Kobe. Dirk Nowitzki made the NBA global by putting Germany on the map. Jordan first took basketball global. Dirk says Kobe kept it global. He saw murals of Kobe from Beijing to Berlin and heard his name shouted from Rio to Rome. Dennis Rodman, the Worm, had wild battles with Jordan. Rodman tells us Jordan was the toughest defender he ever faced. Then he says Kobe had that same defensive fire, and he played more minutes in his finals. Kobe forced rebounds, blocks, steals. Rodman rates both as the fiercest competitors he ever saw. Vince Carter, the half-man, half-amazing, says he never dunked on Jordan or Kobe out of respect. He saw them both lock in a gym and dominate any defender. The respectful legend says he learned humility from Michael and heart from Kobe. Dwyane Wade tells us he copied Kobe's footwork, but he studied Jordan's work ethic. His first championship came with rookies watching Kobe skip school nights to practice. He said, "I felt Mike in everything Kobe did." Paul Pierce, the truth, faced Jordan often. He says Jordan took over entire games. Pierce says Kobe took over entire seasons. Both winners beyond belief. Pierce says he never saw pure willpower like in those two players. Kendrick Perkins, the enforcer, says Jordan was a hammer forcing break tackles and dunks. Kobe was a scalpel, slicing gaps and shooting over outstretched arms. He says both struck fear. Gilbert Arenas, Agent Zero, remembers Kobe's training sessions. Kobe dribbled through traffic cones at midnight, studying Jordan on VHS. Arenas says he still sees Kobe's work ethic live on court today. Rick Fox played alongside Kobe and against Jordan. He says Jordan was ice cold in big games. Fox says Kobe was warm-blooded, defending teammates, pushing them to succeed. He learned leadership from both. Scottie Pippen, Jordan's partner in 6 rings, said he stood no higher than Jordan on court, except when Kobe reminded him of Jordan's moves. Scottie called Kobe the remixed version of Jordan, and he loved it. Stephen Marbury, the point guard, thought he could guard MJ, but he saw Kobe's skills up close. He says Jordan made him humble. Then he says Kobe made him hungry until the last second on the clock. Ray Allen gave credit, calling both the greatest teammates he had ever known. Jordan made his teammates better by demanding perfection. Kobe did the same for his Laker teammates. Allen says they both built legacies on team success. Michael Jordan changed the NBA's salary and branding structure. He was the first billionaire athlete. Kobe followed that blueprint. 5 championships, 5 signature shoes, 5 films. Kobe did everything Jordan did, but did them in his own style. LeBron James famously calls MJ the GOAT, but says Kobe sits right behind him in heart and drive. He says both changed his life. Klay Thompson from the Warriors says Jordan's foot speed was unmatched. Klay says Kobe had the deadliest footwork and mirror moves. Klay studied both on film every summer. Damian Lillard, Rose called Dame Dolla, says he learned to finish games from Jordan and to cry on game winners from Kobe. Damian says all the clutch gene leads right back to those 2 legends. Giannis Antetokounmpo says he started playing basketball because of Jordan highlights. His first Air Jordan shoes made him dream big. Now he studies Kobe's fadeaway spin for his own game. Kevin Durant says Jordan's fadeaway is his favorite shot. Then he says Kobe's relentless practice made his fadeaway unstoppable. Durant says he tries to blend both styles. Paul George says Michael's defense clinics in high school shaped his alley-oop transition. D'Angelo Russell says Kobe's film sessions with Shaq inspired him to become a 2-way star. Anthony Davis says he learned to guard the 4 positions from Jordan's playoff film. Then he says he learned to seek contact and finish at the rim from Kobe's prime. Kyrie Irving says he grew up admiring Jordan's handle in Space Jam. That inspired his own crossover moves. Then he says Kobe's 2 favorite players played in his head when he took tough buckets. Chris Paul says Jordan set the standard for the perfect quick-release shot. Paul says Kobe's mid-range footwork is the secret behind every elite guard's success. Russell Westbrook says he learned how to attack the paint from Jordan's drives. He says Kobe's determination made him attack again and again on every possession. Carmelo Anthony says he learned to create space from Jordan's jab steps. Then he says Kobe added the counter step that made defenders shift fearfully. Jimmy Butler says he modeled Jordan's defensive tenacity after watching MJ work out. Then he says Kobe taught him mid-season training secrets that pushed him past fatigue. Chris Webber says Jordan changed post footwork by adding face-up over moves. Then he says Kobe added drop-step counters, making post-play a cheat code. Manu Ginobili says he learned Jordan's foots-on-the-line mentality. Manu says Kobe's unorthodox style let him survive any defender. Manu blends both in every Euro step. Tony Parker says Jordan made guards fearless. He says Kobe made guards perfect. Downhill with craft. Kawhi Leonard says MJ's lockdown defense made him a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, while Kawhi says Kobe's relentless film study made every rotation perfect. He said, "That 2 lockdown dogs burned into me forever." Paul Millsap says Jordan taught big men to pick, identify posts. He says Kobe's post fadeaways on big men made him respect guards who could score on the low block. Draymond Green says Jordan's steal at the ankles is the model for every defensive anchor. Then he says Kobe's chase down blocks are the new wave for small forwards. LaMarcus Aldridge says Jordan's mid-range bank shot is a special weapon. Then he says Kobe's turnaround jumper from the elbow is the next level in footwork. And Joel Embiid says he grew up dreaming of Jordan's skyhook, reverse skyhook dream. Then he says Kobe's spin and bank from the baseline are the new skyhook for guards. Luka Doncic says he built his entire game off studying Jordan's footwork. Then he says Kobe's fadeaway jumpers from the logo are the best lesson in spacing he's ever learned. Zion Williamson says he tries to dunk with Jordan's hang time in mind. Then he says Kobe's post-up speed surprised any big man. Zion calls them both gravitational anomalies. Jason Tatum says Jordan's pump fakes are still the best. Then he says Kobe's behind the back. Dribble was a gift passed directly from air to Mamba. Anthony Edwards says he grew up watching Jordan's Space Jam and dreaming. Then he says Kobe's Mamba mentality fueled his own corner three development. He says both put fire in his heart. LaMelo Ball says he collects both MJ and Kobe shoes. He says they both shaped sneaker culture, they both changed apparel, they both rewrote the athlete brand playbook. Bradley Beal says he learned MJ's foot speed in traffic. Then he says Kobe's pump fake into jumper is the ultimate test for defenders. Beal says he practices it every day. CJ McCollum says Jordan's jab edges make you bleed. Off ankle. And then he says Kobe's step back fade is the perfect reward script. He says each is a micro masterclass. Chris Middleton says MJ's Pippen lobs taught him to share the ball. Then he says Kobe's ISO product taught him the other side of playmaking. He loves that balance. Dominique Wilkins says he could not dunk on Jordan or Kobe out of respect. He says facing either man felt like climbing Everest. He says both made dunking harder from the start. Bob Cousy from the 1950s says he never saw feet so quick. He says MJ's baseline cuts, then Kobe's corner fades, were all new choreography. He called them poets of motion. And done. Bill Russell says MJ's championship record stood for decades. Then he says Kobe's 5 rings prove the blueprint stands. He says both are giants in the Hall of Fame. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar says his skyhook was unstoppable. Jordan took it to new heights. He says Kobe's mid-range mastery is its own upgrade. He calls both artists. LeBron James says, while Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, Kobe stands right next to him in heart and drive. He says both changed his life. So where does that leave us? Both MJ and Kobe crafted legacies on the court. Both built brands off the court. Both inspired billions of fans around the world. Each rewrote what greatness looks like. Maybe the debate never ends. Maybe we celebrate them both as GOATs for different reasons. Jordan, the pioneer. Kobe, the perfect student who expanded on his master's moves. Maybe that's the answer. Now we want to hear from you. Who do you side with, Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant? Or do you see them both as GOATs? Drop a comment below. If you enjoyed this, let us know. Hit like and subscribe for more basketball history and debates. And a teeth.